All right.
All right, here we go. Are you good? Or do you want
I'm good. No, I'm good.
Right.
We got this going
cool.
on. Hi, Instagram. Hi, Facebook.
And I'm trying to get my Instagram over here going, and we may try to get this.
All right, give us a second because we were getting our cameras. We're now on a 3-camera shoot, and we don't have one camera in the place.
Go live. All righty, so we just got. All right, we're sorry. A little bit of technical things going on here, but we're here, and it's 6:30 on Wednesday evening.
Well, let's just make one point, Doc, is that technical things, nobody in here is under the age of 40.
Yeah.
So the fact that we got 2 people over the age of 40 up online, we got 3 different devices
Within
going.
about 45 seconds, which is pretty darn good.
I'll take that. That's not bad.
That's a very good point.
That's a good idea. So we don't have, there are no 20-somethings in here helping us with tech. So
yeah.
Good job.
Good point. Thank you, Pete. So I'm Dr. Diana Hoppe, and I have a special guest tonight, Pete Mcall. And I'm going to start doing more Facebook Lives again, like I was doing before, probably twice a month. But I want to introduce a special guest tonight. Pete Mcall is phenomenal. He's been on the show before with the Facebook Lives, and he is an expert fitness. He's a personal trainer and a fitness expert. He's been working a lot with the American Council of Exercise. He has given presentations throughout the world. He's just in Shanghai and Beijing doing presentations. He's also written for multiple different journals, the Wall Street Journal, Focus in Washington Post, Men's Health. So obviously you're very qualified in what you talk about. And at the end or toward the middle of the presentation tonight, we're going to talk about your new book, which is pretty exciting. You got a book, which is pretty exciting. Books are always fun to talk about. Yeah. So let's first talk about, welcome first.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's a
pleasure to be back. Oh my gosh.
And thanks to you guys tuning in. So I got 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right, we got 3 cameras.
All these cameras. Thank
you. I appreciate that.
And when you came in, you told me about the new study that came out. So let's start with that, which is pretty cool, about aging and exercise.
So this is really cool. So for people out there, we talked about that. Ball State University out of Indiana, Ball State, small state school. They have one of the top exercise science programs in the world. You know, literally, cool. they do a lot of research there. They just released a study in the last month or two. The name of the journal is escaping me, but I've read the coverage in the New York Times and a couple others. And some of these journals, you can't get the article. You got to only download the abstract.
Exactly.
I don't pay for the journal. Yeah, if I can get it, I get it.
The abstract is good enough.
But what they did, this study was phenomenal because what they did was they took 3 groups. Right. They took a group of older exercisers who've been exercising for 50 years. Mm-hmm. So they're all in their 70s. Mm-hmm. They took another group of people in their 70s who were sedentary, that didn't do much exercise.
In their 70s. Okay.
In their 70s. So these are the 2 groups, primary groups they studied were in their 70s.
Got it.
One group had been exercising for 50 years, one group hadn't. Then they took a younger group of people in their 20s that had been exercising. And what they did was they compared the physiology between the 3 groups. And what they found was that people in their 70s that have been exercising consistently for 50 years had the same physiology as the people who were younger in their 20s.
And you said they had the same enzymes.
The same enzymes, muscle. Their muscle was healthy. They had the same. People in their 70s that exercised repeatedly for 50 years had the same healthy muscle tissue as people in their 20s, 50 years younger.
That's amazing.
And that to me is one of those groundbreaking studies. Yeah. And my premise always is, and the premise of my book is, it doesn't matter. People that know me, I am not. I'll stand up. I do not have 6-pack abs. You can't really see.
We can't really see it.
You can't really see this.
We're going to only show so much.
Trust me. If I had abs, any trainer that has abs is ripping up their shirt and showing you their arms. Right. Ain't gonna happen. I'm the before picture. But my premise of exercise is to enhance your quality of life. Exactly. Yeah, my premise of what I try to talk about in my book and on my podcast is that fitness is freedom. You know, for being a certain age, being fit, exercising gives you choices for what you want to do in your life.
Exactly.
Do you want to take a fun vacation?
Can you go on a trip and walk up the stairs and go like hiking around the beach? Yeah, all that.
That's what I wrote my book about. That's why I do the content that I do. And with trainers, when I do education for trainers, I'm trying to get them into that mindset. Because trainers.
Yeah, you mentioned to me about don't call it exercise, call it movement, which I thought was pretty cool too. Yes. Make sure we're on the good. Yeah, we're good.
Movement.
We're getting all my little cameras.
Yeah, we got. But that's what we're trying to talk about movement and physical activity. Because let's face it, when you hear the exercise word, and I'm sure for listeners out there, you hear exercise, you immediately like,
oh, exercise.
I don't want to do that.
And what does that mean? I got to go to the gym. That kind of costs money. It's going to take time, right?
Well, it's uncomfortable. And my experience, people think back to when they're 12 or 13 years old and they're last week in PE. Because what we did, what PE makes a mistake of in our country is they teach kids sports in PE, in elementary school. They don't teach them how to exercise. That started to change a little bit. Some of the curriculums are starting to shift, where PE programs are starting to teach exercise, teach kids 8, 9, 10 years old how to exercise. which is more important than teaching a 9-year-old how to play soccer.
Right. Although sometimes at least they give them activity that they like.
It's motor skills, it's activities. But
Right.
think about there's probably, if you look at that bell curve, there's probably 40% of that bell curve that has a negative relationship with exercise because they couldn't play sports.
Right.
Can they walk on a
When
treadmill?
you get picked on a team, you're the last picked in the group. I think we've all
been there.
experienced something like
I've
that,
been
which
there.
is never fun.
But think about that. So then people have that negative image of exercise and being picked last.
Right.
So of course they don't want to join a gym. Why would they? That's going to bring up these bad memories.
That's something that's interesting too. But let's go back to that study just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I really want to make
Yeah,
sure everyone understands the magnitude of what this means. So what you're saying is they had two groups of people about in their 70s.
Yeah.
One was sedentary, one exercised for about 50 years.
Yeah.
And they then compared them to a 20-year-old physiology.
Yeah.
So you're saying as we age, because we all want to look the best, feel the best as we age, exercise is a phenomenal part of that. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Well, it's critical, and this is going to be my geekiness, right?
Yeah.
Too bad the tag fitness geek was gone because I would have taken that. But there's something called Meccano Transduction. That's a term, Meccano Transduction.
Okay.
That's a $3 word that sounds very fancy, but what it means is every time you exercise, that mechanical force changes your cells.
Got it.
So when mechanical force applies to the body, it applies to bone cells, it applies to muscle cells, it applies to connective tissue cells. When you apply a force to the body, you're literally changing the cells in your body. You're literally building new cells.
Right.
So if you exercise regularly 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week over the course of years, you're constantly stimulating new growth and development of skin, bone, muscle.
Which is anti-aging in a way, because you're basically
always
keeping everything invigorated.
Your body is its own recycling center.
Right.
So, and if you don't exercise, then you're not getting any stimulus to develop new cells.
And you're not getting rid of toxins too that can build up, which is also
and
part.
if you don't exercise, you're probably making different lifestyle choices.
Correct.
Whereas if you're exercising, you might watch how much you drink, or not that there's anything wrong with that, but watch what time you go to sleep. Watch.
Right.
You're gonna make other choices.
You have better lifestyle choices with other things. Like
you might have
sleep and stress.
Your after dinner treat might be like this, and not like the bucket of chocolate, death by chocolate.
Exactly.
So when you're active, you tend to make different, healthier lifestyle choices.
That makes total sense. What's interesting is the magnitude that study showed that you can actually get the cells, muscles, etc., at the stage of a 20-year-old, which is phenomenal. Last time we talked about the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, and that's something that helps with aging in the brain with exercise. Can you tell us a little bit about that too?
That's pretty fascinating. So BDNF, I mean, I don't know how many people are familiar with BDNF or how many people have heard that, but BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, is a neurotransmitter, which is a chemical that helps your cells function. It's a catalyst. Basically, it's like you putting WD-40. It helps your cells grow.
Right.
And what Dr. John Rady, if you guys want to really take a deep dive, Spark by Dr. John Rady goes into BDNF for kids, for older adults. But BDNF wires new brain cells. It promotes the growth of new brain cells, but also it helps your cells wire together.
Right.
So if you learn if you learn a new activity, like if you learn tennis, you learn golf, or you learn how to dance, you do martial arts, you're creating new pathways in your brain for how the cells connect, for how your different motor skills connect. So BDNF is imperative. The exercise that makes you sweaty, the exercise that gets you out of breath, that leaves you a little tired, that produces growth hormone. The exercise that produces growth hormone also will produce BDNF, will also kind of stimulate the production of BDNF.
That makes total sense. And I think I went to a lecture about 2 months ago, and they talked about exercise and BDNF, and also with regard like dancing. So like some of it's coordination with the movement. So like one of the best things we can do as we get older is something like dancing. What other things would you say would be exercises that we should focus on as we're getting, we're still looking great. I'm just getting a little older.
We're gaining more experience. We're getting
more mature.
We're getting mature. I don't know about mature, but we're getting more experience. But the exercise, and that's the thing where we need to shift the paradigm of exercise. It's not just going and doing the gym.
Yeah, the gym.
That's boring. But learning movements like gardening, is a very good physical activity.
It's a good one, yeah. And you're outside in nature.
And the other thing is that we've looked at, there's something called variability, is we don't want to perform the same movements over and over and over again. That creates wear patterns. It's like if I kept hitting some drywall in the same spot, if I hit this drywall in the same spot,
get that one muscle activated, but
eventually the drywall will start cracking, my muscle will be fatigued. It just gets fatigued. Mm-hmm. So doing the same exercise repeatedly fatigues your tissues, fatigues the muscles, connective tissues. So by doing different exercises or different types of movement, gardening is perfect because you're not going to do the exact same thing every time you garden. You're doing different movement patterns. You're using your body differently. You're up, you're down, you're carrying, you're lifting, you're pushing, you're pulling. So I look at gardening, I look at just walking, going for a hike. I mean, we're here in
hiking.
Southern California where you have so much gorgeous hiking. You can go for a walk and move and up and down. What's up, Mark?
And I should say hi to the people listening here too. We've got Sherry, have Jenna, Michael, all these great people listening and watching. Great. And any comments you guys have, go ahead and write them and we can answer some questions too. So gardening and dancing, and there's a lot of good things we can do. Let me now focus on your book, because that's pretty exciting stuff that's coming out here. And I want to make sure we have enough time to talk about your book. So your book is called Smarter Workouts. I'm going to try to see if I can show it here.
And I'm going to put the link right
He's going to put the link up. Pete's going to put the link up. But it's called Smarter Workouts. And it is the science of exercise made simple. I think all of us want exercise to be made simple and also something that we want to do. So let's first talk about, once you get the link up there, which I think you did.
Again, I want to qualify this, so we don't have a 20-something here.
But it's all good. We got it there. Anyway, we'll get the link up. And it's called Smarter Workout. It's on Amazon. It's going to be available the first week
week of January.
In January.
Yep. I don't know if that did. Okay, there it is. It's right there.
Okay, cool.
Put up
Thank you for doing that. Good job.
Thank you. Well, and I appreciate that. So thanks for having me on. But Smarter Workouts. So one of the things I do is I blog and write for the American Council on Exercise.
Right.
So a couple of years ago, I did a series of workouts for the American Council on Exercise called One Weight Workouts.
One weight.
Where you take one piece of equipment and you do a workout, kettlebell, dumbbells, medicine ball. So I evolved that into this book. So this book features some of the physiology, how your muscle works, how your body works, how your body adapts. There are 3 different types of exercise. There's strength training.
Right.
There's what we call metabolic conditioning, what people generally call cardio, where you're training your energy pathways. And then you have mobility, what we traditionally call flexibility.
Like yoga.
Yeah, yoga is an excellent example of mobility. Like, as you look at it, flexibility refers to joints, joint motion, but you combine muscle tissue and joint motion, then you get mobility. So the book goes into strength training, metabolic conditioning, and mobility training using only one piece of equipment. So if you take a medicine ball, you can get a strength workout, you can get a mobility workout, and you can get a metabolic conditioning workout using just a medicine ball. So I go into the science of that. I go into specific exercises. I think there are 7 pieces of equipment, 21 different workouts in the book.
Wow.
And a variety of 150 different exercises. So I've been.
So we don't have excuses. So basically, we can't make an excuse. Well, I don't have the equipment.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I don't have the time, and it costs too much money.
Yeah. And I start out, so I scale the workouts to start at 10 minutes and progress gradually up to 40 minutes. So
and these can be done at home or
in the gym. So the whole idea was that if you're in the home and you, I don't. There are days I just don't have that time
to get to the
gym, whatever. So buy one piece of equipment, and that can be a day you only do a 15-minute workout. And 15 minutes is better than nothing.
That's true.
15
minutes.
5 minutes is better than nothing.
Exactly. And that's where I think if people just start, if we just start exercising, even if you might not think you're an athlete or you exercise, just doing anything. Like I tell my patients, just walk. Walking is excellent. Just go a little faster.
If people walked 30 minutes a day, they'd be amazed at how. So I go through that, and it goes through and it teaches you how to do it on yourself. Do it by yourself, but it teaches you how to use the equipment, so you can have it. Also, but one of the things I've known, Diana, I've worked in gyms for 20 years.
Yeah, you've had a lot of experience. I didn't even get into all the experience that you've had.
But here's the thing: when you go into a gym on a busy day, I got here. You sit there through traffic. You do this, you do that. You finally get to the gym and find everything's busy.
Right. You gotta wait for the machines.
So that's what I wanted to do, is give people a blueprint, so if they do go to the gym, they can grab just one piece of equipment, go in the corner, and be able to do it. And every personal trainer out there knows that when it's busy, you grab, if you're my client, I would have 2 pieces of equipment. We'd go in the corner, and I'd give you a great workout with maybe a stability ball and 2 sets of dumbbells.
Wow.
Boom. And now every trainer knows how to do that. So what I'm trying to do is I've educated trainers for more than 15 years.
Right.
I've been in fitness for 20 years. I've been educating trainers for more than 15 years. So I'm taking what I travel around the world and teach trainers. I'm trying to teach it to the average person.
Yeah, to the public who's going to now say, so you're basically saying I can go to the gym and get a kettlebell and start one piece of equipment and then just do a workout based on that.
Yep.
And
20-25 minutes, bang, done, in, out. Is it gonna change everything? No, but something is better than nothing, and it's a starting point to get people more comfortable so they can do other things.
And you talk about maximizing your workout. How do you maximize your workout with your kind of system that you have? Movement based.
Okay. And that is, and for people for years, if I talk to you about exercise, you might say, well, I do some of these. These are bicep curls, or I might do some of these like chest flies, you know? Those are muscle isolation exercises.
Right.
Your muscles don't do that. They can, but they're not designed to
be isolated like that. Right.
If you want to blow your mind, every muscle in your body is designed to be most mechanically effective when you're walking upright on your feet.
Okay.
If you think about it, when we're standing upright on our feet, gravity's pushing us down, ground reaction is pushing us up. So we are stuck. Our body is stuck in the middle between two forces, downwards and upwards. It takes the human about 12 months to learn how to walk.
Uh-huh.
And walking in gait is balance, it's coordination, it's skill, it's strength. So when you look at it, if all of our muscles in our body are designed to help us walk, if we break down those patterns, that is how we're designed. That's our operating system. We're using these phones, and a phone has an operating system.
Right.
A phone or a computer is just plastic and glass, right? So it doesn't do anything without the software. The software of our body is movement, gait, walking. So if I break down, so if we were working together, what I would do is I'd break down those patterns, and we would look at squatting, lunging, pushing, pulling, rotating, the basic patterns of movement. And so it's teaching your body how to move. It's not teaching a muscle how to work. It's teaching your body how to move. That's what I mean about enhancing the quality of life. Wow. If you can move better in the workout, then guess what? You can play tennis a little bit better. Right. Your back's not going to hurt after playing tennis. Or your back's not going to hurt after gardening for a little bit. Or hey, I noticed your beautiful Christmas decorations. Or after hanging Christmas decorations.
Yeah, I didn't do that much, but it's it's little things.
The point is, our bodies are designed to move, and for years we've isolated exercise into individual discrete muscle actions, and that's not the way that we work.
And I've had some trainers tell me they don't want me to do the machines; they want me to do more of the whole body workout, which now makes total sense. I mean, I know it did before, but now you're explaining it really well.
I said, here's the thing about that, and you have to understand. I consult Nautilus, so Nautilus is like the main machine company,
and they don't probably like you.
No,
I mean, because you're saying don't isolate the muscles. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, but the thing is, in exercise there are no absolutes. Right. The only absolute is you must do something. You must be active every day for a few minutes.
In some way.
Right. That's the only absolute. But anything else, like I might not have you do machines all the time, but I might have you do one or two machine workouts every so often, just because it's a good way to train. Machines are great for training the muscle, strengthening the muscle.
Okay.
Because for someone,
I know in rehab I had my ACL, and I remember I had to do some.
Yeah. So you have to do machines because machines put the load directly in the muscle.
Right.
They don't use the joints. They don't touch other things. So I might have you do like 10 weeks of body weight training, but then I might have you do 10 weeks of strength training.
Okay.
Or I might have on Monday, I might have you do a body weight workout. And then on Wednesday, I might have you do a machine workout. And on Friday, I might have you do yoga. So
mix it up, like you're saying.
Exactly. So that's where the benefit of machines is for people like you and I, as we get older, we can overload our muscles so they stay young. So that way, when you get to 70 in another 40 years, and I get to 70 in another...
I'm only 30.
Exactly. Right. When I get to 70 in 50 years, our muscle will still be the same as it is now because we're doing strength training. And machines are the safest way to do that.
And that study told us that, right?
That's
so
exactly
that was pretty cool. So now I'm going to be a little bit of a devil's advocate. There's a lot of books about exercise out there and workouts and maximizing your time. So why would someone buy your book versus someone else's book that's out there?
That's the only one in the store. No. Why would they buy it? Because I really try to break it, just like I'm talking about now. I really try to break it down in a way that people understand. I mean, let's go back to I've been teaching people for 15 years how to do the science of exercise.
Right.
I've become and there are other people like me. I'm not the only one. There are many people out there who have become very effective at breaking down complicated physiology
and making it
into bite-sized chunks. So that way, when I do a workshop for trainers, a trainer might have a degree in physiology, or a trainer might not have any degree at all.
Right.
So we need to be able to break it down in ways they understand it. So what I try to do in the book is I try to explain exercise using simple analogies, like that one I was using with the phone.
Right.
How your body works. So that way somebody will read it and go, I never realized that.
Right.
Oh, that's why I should be doing that. There are very few people that I've written textbook chapters for the two largest personal training certifications. There are very few people who've worked with both, and I continue to work with both as clients, as a freelancer. So what I'm trying to do, the reason why my book is different is I have 15 years of educating trainers, not just training people, but I have 15 years of educating trainers, and that background experience went into the book. So anybody who buys it is going to get that experience broken down for them, so you can look and go, oh, that's
like
why
an understandable way. Yeah, and that's like when I wrote my book, it's the same thing. You want to make it so people understand it. You can write sentences, but if no one gets it, why do it, right? So I don't know if there's any questions.
Well, there's one. Somebody's asked about osteoporosis, and because that's a huge issue. And let's just face it, men deal with osteoporosis too. We talk a lot of
but men do get osteoporosis. That's absolutely.
And what is osteoporosis? You're the doctor. I'll let you talk.
Well, it's actually there's something called osteopenia, which is bone thinning, and then there's called osteoporosis when your bone density gets so low, you're at an increased risk for fracture. And I always talk to my patients when I have an osteoporosis consult about their lifestyle. So we were talking about how much exercise you're doing. How's your balance exercises? Are you rotating the type of exercise you're doing? Are you watching what you're eating in the sense of alcohol and other lifestyle things, sleep, stress reduction? All those things are important for your life. So we were kind of talking a little bit about that. So tell me what, now that I defined osteoporosis.
So let's go back. So osteoporosis deals with the bones. And
bone thinning.
Bone cells are osteoblasts. Bone cells are osteoblasts. Muscle cells are fibroblasts. You know, the individual
the build up, the
individual level.
Right.
So go back to that term, Meccano Transduction.
Which I love that term.
Yeah.
Meccano Transduction.
Force applied to the body creates new cells.
Right.
So when you do exercise, you're applying force to the body.
Correct.
And in response, bones are going to develop new cells. The osteoblasts, bones will take satellite cells. Satellite cells are the individual building blocks of all of our stuff in our body. The bones will produce satellite cells that turn into osteoblasts that make the bone thicker. If you look at the bunion, if a woman has a bunion, if this is a big toe and a woman has a bunion, if she's been wearing high heels her whole life, she's been coming down right on that big toe, and that causes that bone to change position and move, right? So that's what happens to your body. If you apply force to it, your bone builds up and becomes thicker, denser, stronger. So you can do that through body weight exercise. You can do that through machines like knowledge. You can do it through weights. There's a variety of different ways to do it, but the key thing of it is movement.
So weight-bearing exercise is really important.
Thank you.
That's that. Yeah, I know that you're talking about that. And the other thing is balance. I always tell my patients about Tai Chi or yoga, things to balance. And if they do fall, they fracture their wrist rather than their hip.
Yeah.
So they don't fall on their hip, which is a way different fracture than it is like a wrist fracture.
You're so right. And that is, it's funny, the older I get, this is one of the things where the only thing I wish I could go back in time for, and I mean this sincerely, is to start taking yoga in my late teens or early 20s.
Oh, so if you started earlier.
Yeah, if I started earlier, because yoga, and that's one of those things, is yoga, I go through periods of I do it, but when we look at yoga, you're doing balance, you're doing mobility, you're doing strength. And now that I'm in my 40s, I would rather be able to do a hand, like an inversion or a full handstand or some of those positions. I'd rather be able to do a good yoga workout than bench press 300 some pounds. You know, I don't bench press anymore. For people out there, I don't bench press.
Right.
That's about the worst thing you can do for your shoulders biomechanically.
Right.
But that's why doing yoga is great for.
But you can start any time to do yoga. So not to make people think that they can't. No, it's all good. They can't. It's wine. No, it's water. That they can't do exercise at any time, and it doesn't have to be you're the best in the yoga class. Like part of my reason I don't go into yoga classes as much is I'm probably gonna be the worst with flexibility, and I'm just not a yoga.
Then we gotta go to
guru. So we gotta go. I am like the worst with the poses and all the stuff they do, and I'm pretty. Anyway, and I feel uncoordinated when I go to a yoga class, so I need to feel more confidence.
Well, one thing about this, and this is actually something I saw in the Washington Post recently about somebody's beef against instructors, and this is the type of instructor I am. I give you a workout. If you come to my class, I give you a workout.
Right.
I'm not there to give you some metaphysical thing. I'm not there to give you some spiritual. I'm not going to try to have you be the best you can be that day. I don't care about that. You're there for an hour. You got 24 hours in a day. I'm going to give you a workout in and out. One of the reasons why it's hard for me to go to certain yoga classes is I don't want it to, I understand meditation. I love to try to meditate, but I'm not there to go on a spiritual journey. I'm there to do an hour of good, hard, challenging exercise. And I don't want to think about, you know what I mean? How some
although I do
go
think that the actual breathing and relaxation is a really good part of yoga. So I think it depends on what class you want to go to.
Well, that's different. The breathing and relaxation is different than an instructor standing in front of you trying to be your motivational guru. And that's what I mean. That's where I've pushed back. It's like, I don't want my instructor to be a motivational guru. I just want my instructor to give me a good workout. I don't want them to try to change my life with the perfect saying. And
So I think it depends on what class you like, what instructor you like. I think it's all like getting in the groove of what works for you. So then we just find out which class, what kind of motivation. So tell us a little bit more about your book and why did you write it?
Why did I write it? Because I want to charge more money for talks.
That's actually not, that's actually a true fact. I mean, if you have a book, you have more credibility, but it also, I think, was your passion to have people understand
to come back to
the physiology.
But honestly, to come back to it, Doc, what I try to do is I can't tell you, a few times a month, I get emails from guys I went to college with or friends I went to college with. I played rugby for a number of years. What's up, Boston Irish Wolfhounds Rugby Club. I played rugby for a number of years. Active in a fraternity. I get people who email me once or twice a month or get a couple emails a month about what should I be doing now? What should I be doing now? So that's why I want to exactly for exercise.
So as we age, what are the best things to do?
Exactly. Or I got away from it. I got busy. I got busy kids. Yada yada yada. I wanted to put something out there that was basic, that was accurate, informative, evidence-based. I mean, that's the thing. Everything in there is evidence-based. Everything in there is research-based. I'm working with Human Kinetics. Human Kinetics is a publisher. They publish, if you pick up almost any textbook on exercise science, more than likely it'll be published by Human Kinetics.
Right.
So they have a consumer side and they have a academic side, and I'm more on the consumer side. Mm-hmm. But it really is what I wanted to do was give people that information and insight, especially as we get older. I want readers of my book that when they get tested in 30 years or 40 years, their physiology is going to be the same as the 20s.
Well,
that's my goal.
We started off with this whole thing about that study that showed that.
And the final thing on that too is at our age, I think, and I mean this for people that in our cohort, like people in our general age range, mm-hmm. I don't want to be paying for your poor decisions in 30 years. I don't want to be paying for your lack of activity. So a lot of what I try to do when I write or when I speak is get people to realize that it's not, you don't need to go into a gym and kill yourself for an hour.
Right.
It's all about being active and being healthy and moving.
And doing it consistently. That's another thing is I listen to Darren Hardy every day, and he's with Darren daily. And basically it's doing things consistently every day to move to your final. Well, it's always a process. It's not like there's a goal of, it's always moving towards something, but it's consistency. So a weekend warrior is worse than someone who does 7 days just doing some walking or other things. So I like the daily consistency. That's what makes the actual progress and success. It is.
It really, it's not about, and again, it's not about appearance. That's the most disheartening thing about fitness to me is that we're an industry driven on appearance. And yes, exercise.
We're in a world that,
let's face it, we're in Southern California. So everything's driven on appearance and we get so hung up on it. It's important. You have to be confident in yourself, which is important, but exercise should give you that inner confidence. A friend of mine, Artemis Scandalides, wrote a great blog post. Artemis is about 5'2", maybe 105 pounds, but she can do pull-ups with a 50-pound weight hanging from her body. She can do 3 pull-ups at 5'2", 100-something pounds. She can have a weight, half her body weight, and do a pull-up with that. She is incredibly strong for her size, and she's like 43 years old. Right. But she talked about strength training gave her the ability to carry a 7-gallon water jug up 3 flights of stairs when she was living in a walk-up apartment. Woo! And that, think about those huge water jugs, right? Think about that, having that freedom to be strong enough that you don't have to wait for a significant other to get home to help you move something. Right. Or you can put your own bag in the overhead bin.
I like the guys to help me do that.
Well, it's fine. No.
But yes, I get it.
You want them to offer.
Correct.
But you want to have that confidence.
I want to know that I can do it, but I like them
Exactly. And you want to know that you can do that. It's like you want to know that you can't. What I like to tell people is I want you to have the strength to run away. Meaning I want you to be able to pack 2 carry-on bags and go wherever you want in the world on a 24-hour notice.
Yeah.
And that's how much
your flight and run through the airport.
Make that connection. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Well, let me see how much time we have left. We just have a few minutes to see if there's any other questions or comments. But I think the main thing is what you're saying is that we just need to move no matter what, and that we can maximize our workouts with just one piece of equipment. So that's not going to stop us from taking care of ourselves. And health is without our health, what is there? Right?
Well, and real quick, I'm looking. Dana wrote.
Dana. Hey, Dana.
Should I work out when I'm sore from prior day workout?
Oh, interesting question.
We're stressing the muscles too much. That depends. Every question, people know that when I answer a question, it means that depends. Okay, it depends on how sore you are, but movement makes you feel better. So if you're sore after a workout, what you're doing is you have metabolic byproduct in the muscles, which are affecting how the muscles contract. So the worst thing you can do is sit on the couch all day and do nothing.
After a workout.
If
you're sore, okay.
So the day after a workout is like the day after a hard strength training workout. That's what I'd recommend, like a flexibility workout, just some stretching, maybe a gentle yoga class or like a hatha yoga class or like a water aerobics class, because you're doing different activity and you want to move, but you don't want to stress. She uses the perfect word, stress. Because what we don't realize is that exercise is physical stress applied to the body.
Right.
So when we do that, we need a period of time for the muscles to repair, rebuild, replace the energy. So if we do a really hard workout today and we're a little bit sore tomorrow, we got to get up and move tomorrow. Today might be heavy strength training, but tomorrow might be a body weight workout. Like today we could have done all machines, so tomorrow you're going to be sore, but tomorrow I want you to do a body weight workout. Where today your intensity level is maybe really high, tomorrow your intensity level is going to be relatively low or moderate. You're going to work hard enough just to kind of sweat and breathe a little bit harder than normal, but you're not going to work that hard.
And the whole point of that is to get so that the toxins get released that have built up, getting that muscle to regenerate. So it's basically a process of replenishment and getting rid of toxins, which makes total sense to me. That why you would kind of alter things, right?
And to answer that, and to go there, because when you do that, you're eliminating that, but you're improving the circulation and you're helping your body feel better. Remember I said your body's a recycling machine.
Right.
So
if
you exercise a little bit the next day, you're recycling the old stuff out. You're getting new cells built. You're putting new forces in. One more question, I think we'll wrap it up. What's your go-to piece of equipment when training clients? Do you incorporate any cardio into the session? Okay, Jessica, great question.
Good question.
If I'm in a gym, my go-to piece of equipment is a cable machine, the standing cable machine where you can raise and lower the cable anywhere you want. And one of the workouts I have in my book is a resistance band that's like a cable machine, so you can do the same things at home. So cable machines allow you to do things standing, pushing, pulling, rotating. I want you training on your feet because we live on our feet.
And it also makes us balance in our core, right?
Balance, exactly. All the core muscles. So in the gym, it's cable machines, my go-to piece. At home, it's either a kettlebell or a medicine ball. And kettlebells, if you know how to use them correctly, can do strength training. They can get your heart rate up. You mentioned cardio, and that's fine because that's what we generally call it. But it's more metabolic conditioning because right now we're breathing. Unless
we should be breathing. Right.
That's cardio. Cardio respiratory means we're getting oxygen in and getting CO2 out. Anytime you start exercising, it becomes metabolic conditioning. How's your body producing ATP? Is it using the immediate energy pathway? Is it intermediate or is it long term? So can you do circuit training is a form of cardio. I always look at the last 10 minutes of a workout as metabolic conditioning. The last 10 minutes of the workout is going to generally be really hard. It's not going to be complex from a motor skill standpoint because you're fatigued. I'm not going to wreck you from a motor skill, but I'm going to fatigue you. So I might put you, so the last like 5 to 10 minutes of a workout, I want you going really hard in a relatively safe environment. So I want you to finish in a sweaty wreck. I'm not going to have you be in a sweaty wreck the entire hour. Okay. It's just going to be the last 5 to 10 minutes. And here's the cool thing about high intensity training. Yeah. It's not the duration. Study after study. There's a new study that just came out last month that was a 4-minute Tabata. Tabata is a 4-minute. It's 20. Yeah. It's 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest over 4 minutes. Right. So this study did a 4-minute Tabata workout. They did a 30-minute treadmill workout in a steady state. Right. And they did nothing. So you had 3 different groups. Right. You had the 4-minute, you had the treadmill workout, and you had the did nothing. So the group that did the 4-minute Tabata, that's all they did. 1 4-minute Tabata 3 times a week. 12 minutes a week of exercise. Okay. That group had better results over 16 weeks than the group running on a treadmill for 30 minutes at a time. So
the results meaning with regard to?
Lost more weight, got stronger. When they do these tests, they do they do a battery of tests before the study. Right. We're going to test you these things, and they're going to test you at the end of the study.
So I wanted to
the people
body fat analysis, your muscle mass.
Exactly. The people that did 4 minutes of work 3 times a week over the course of 16 weeks got better results than the people running on the treadmill for 90 minutes a week.
Wow.
So so when it comes to exercise, cardio is not duration, it's intensity. So if you do only 5 to 10 minutes of really hard work where you're busting your gut out of breath, that's all you need, 5 to 10 minutes.
It's breathless. They call it breathless.
Right? Out of breath. You don't need to do that for an hour.
Right. Well,
5 to 10 minutes. And you can't do it. Your body
gets anaerobic and then
So anyway, so that's your question.
That's a great question. Yeah. So how do we get your book? Now that you guys all psyched about your book and how we need to do it and get it, how do we do it?
I don't know. There's a place online where you can buy books and other stuff.
I think it's called Amazon. Yeah. So we can actually pre-order your book,
right?
I mean, what I want to say is it's not. I want to just make it so that everyone understands that the book is.
I'm sorry.
No. I just want to make sure people get it that Amazon, the book is on Amazon. It's not yet.
You can pre-order it now.
Getting distributed yet.
Yeah.
We know what it's like when you write a book, things happen. So it's going to be available at the beginning of January. It would be a great gift to give to your family, friends.
Great gift, pre-order. I mean, especially for those people that, one of the things too that I wrote about is for business travelers. I do a lot of travel.
That's actually a really good point.
I flew 130,000 miles this year. And so one of the things I do when I travel is I make it a point. I put a lot of my Instagram feed, I put my little workouts, whether it's in a hotel room and a hotel gym.
That's really good.
Because I want to show that you don't need a lot to do a lot. You just need to be consistent.
Yeah, so, consistency and doing it.
Yeah, one of the pieces of equipment in the book is your body weight. So if you have something in your life, body weight. Some of us have more than others. But if you have somebody in your life who travels a lot, this book is a great resource for them. Because too, a lot of gyms, hotel gyms, will have dumbbells, but they don't have much else. Or they don't have much space, but they might have a few medicine balls. Trust me, you can ask me any brand of gym or any brand of hotel, and I can tell you the type of gyms they have in there. Right. So that way you can either, if you download this book on your tablet, on your iPad,
that's a good idea too.
Then what you can do is when you travel, you can say, oh, we got medicine balls in our hotel gym. Let me pull up one of the medicine ball workouts. And then that way you have that resource.
So we can do this, is what you're saying. And then if you travel, if you don't travel, so there's a lot of ways we can get the exercise and maximize and make it the most time efficient way we can do it. Which I think is really cool.
It's all about that. I mean, it's doing, and you have to understand what I don't tell a lot of people is my undergrad degree is actually economics. And economics is a study of unlimited demand with limited resources. So when I apply that to fitness, we got 1 hour to exercise.
What do you do?
What do you do in that hour? So I've written about that for years, talking about, I consider myself an exercise economist, and I'm trying to help you maximize your efficiency in that 1 hour of utility.
I like that. You know, we should use that as a tagline for you.
Yeah.
I think that's really
Exercise
cool.
economist?
Yeah.
I got to rebrand this.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And the Dr. Howard said, hey, intermediate micro is one class of intermediate microeconomics, almost kept me from getting the degree. So Dr. Howard said, the fact that I'm using your information, I got a 1.7 year class, I almost failed it, but I understood the concepts, and now I try to apply the concepts.
It's all good. Well, we went, I apologize, I went a little over 30 minutes, but you know, it was so dynamic, the talk and everything. So thank you for all your questions and your comments. The link there for Amazon is there for you to get. And I want to thank you so much, Pete, for being here tonight.
I appreciate that.
I want to have you again because in the new year, we all want to lose weight and feel better and, you know, to really get even maybe more tips of how we can really do the best that we can for us. So with that, I'm going to let everyone go, all our different cameras. Thank you for coordinating this, everybody. And then we'll see you next time. Next Wednesday, I'm going to have a guest, Samantha Binkley. She does spices, and we're going to talk about spices and your health and aging. So till next time, everyone have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Thank you. And to Jessica, yes, Jessica, one of the reasons why I wrote it is for trainers, so you can get a bunch of great ideas for what to do with a client, whether you're in a gym or whether you're in their home. So thank you very much.
For trainers too. All right, cool. All right, thanks.